All right. I just decided to go live. I haven't been on the YouTube channel. I've been posting on the YouTube channel, but just been getting of um, clips of matches and moves and stuff like that. Probably trying to do a top 10 list moves. But yeah, I just wanted to go live and kind of talk to everybody what's going on, what we've been doing with the online class. Let me try to fix my seat a little bit. But yeah, I just want to talk about what's been going. Actually, I'm getting ready. It's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I've been working with David Marquez and Primetime Live that you could see on Fight TV. Used to be, I think it was on Direct TV and In Demand. I think they canceled that. But I just want to talk about it. Everybody's been working hard at that show. They brought me on to do some booking. I ended up doing. I actually ended up doing match producing. But it's still something new for me to do match producing and to really. Good morning, Ruby. How are you? I just saw you there. But yeah. So I don't know. Just trying to go live and talk to everybody. I've actually been reading coaching books, trying to get better at my coaching because I've been working with a lot of talent and just really trying to figure out different ways to coach the talent that's already pretty much knows what they're doing. Because I'm used to coaching youngsters, people coming in. So I've been doing that, and it's been a real challenge at the Primetime Live. So I've been just good morning, Logan Star. Good morning. Hey, what's up, David? How you doing, man? Good morning, my friend. Um, so yeah, if you have questions, just go ahead and ask them. I just kind of just decided to go live. I've been thinking about it for probably like 2 weeks, right? Sometimes you just gotta actually press the go button and just go. So I decided, what better time than before Primetime Live? We got a stacked show tonight. I think we got Santino Brothers, OG Ray Rosas is going to be taking out, not taking out, taking on the baddest dude coming out of Santino Brothers Dojo and Bad Dude Tito. So that should be a really great match. I definitely look forward to it. I definitely look forward to working with the guys. I think I started this Primetime Live in September. Right, we closed the school down, we put everything away, and I think David Marquez came knocking on my door, and David Marquez, me and him, I love the guy, but we do butt heads. But He came knocking on my door, says, "Hey," he actually wrote "Opportunities Knocking." And I felt that taking the job. I think obviously if the school was in operation, I wouldn't have taken the position. But I think it came in just at the right time. I've been in wrestling for 26 years, 26 straight years, and I feel that I needed the blood. I needed the injection. I've been telling people it's like the vampires from True Blood. They needed the real blood, not the synthetic stuff. And that's what I felt I needed, and it really kind of injected me with some energy and life, some pro wrestling life that I was lacking. And it's been good. I can't complain. I do complain, but I shouldn't complain. But it's been great there working with everybody. Got a chance to work with Ruby Reyes on a couple of matches. She's been incredible and great. Um, yeah, I hope we have a great show, Ruby. So we'll see how it goes. Someone asked if we can use pro wrestling as a self-defense. I mean, obviously you can. What I always do is I've never been classically trained at jiu-jitsu or even submission grappling or anything like that. What I do is I just get in the ring and I do use the pro wrestling moves to my advantage, because you can add pressure, and I would say more than half of the moves would work legitimately. I mean, even an arm wringer, as weird as that looks, if you're strong enough, that actually can be legitimate and you can use it. So good seeing you from Thailand. Yeah, how's the wrestling in Thailand? Is there a lot of wrestling in Thailand? I know since we've been doing this YouTube channel, I've been learning that there's a lot of wrestling enthusiasts, potential grapplers out there. who love professional wrestling and do it on a grass, do it on a gymnastics mats because there's not even a ring in their country, you know. So I mean, this whole COVID thing has changed everything. Like I really feel like man, 100%, yeah, of course we're going to open the school back up, but like as soon as you kind of think maybe it's time to start opening back up, like especially here in California, they're like boom, lockdown for a month. And that's what they said last time was a month, and I think it's been going on, you know. So you know, it kind of makes you think like I want to be a pro wrestling missionary too. You know, I want to go around the world and take my welding guy around the world and say, hey man, these people need a wrestling ring. Let's help them and give them the blueprints to building a wrestling ring. Let's help them and give them the blueprints to training and teaching and coaching professional wrestling, so that way it can thrive in their country. And in the long run, professional wrestling just gets stronger as a whole. You know, the people in those countries will start making more fans. But yeah, I mean, I think like really, if I've ever had a goal in life, you know, 12 years ago, I had a goal to make Santino Brothers Wrestling as popular or as respected as Slammers Wrestling, gym that was out here in Los Angeles, California. And I talked to Mongo, who's actually gone to Slammers, and he's like, man, brother, you've done that a couple of times over. So I think like my next like crazy ass weird goal. It's not like a stupid goal, but just crazy and weird. Never thought of it in my life before, but I do want to be a pro wrestling missionary and take for wrestling and introduce it to people who don't know anything about it, because it's beautiful and it's wonderful, and it's honestly it's all I've done the last 26 years. I know pro wrestling more than I know the regular life, and that's 100% fact. Do I agree that you should do that? No, no, I don't. Go get world experience. Go get life experience. You don't want to be, you know, living life longer in the wrestling business than you actually live in life in the world itself. So, um, but yeah, I think that's something that I have on my list. I'd love to travel the world. I'd love to teach what I know, and I love to teach what I'm so passionate about, and really try to help out the next generation. That's what I was always taught. You know, I was always taught that you got to give back. If you're ever in the position to give back, give back. And you know, maybe you're just coming out of wrestling school, and there's another guy that's still in wrestling school. Maybe you can give back and help them out. Hey, you know, when I was thinking about quitting, this is what I thought about. You know, you can always give back no matter what level you are in the wrestling business. So, um, but yeah, so that's kind of what I feel my next goal is. Like, I don't know when this, I'd like to say in my head right now, like this COVID thing is going to clear up, at least for Los Angeles County by summer. I don't know. I mean, last summer I was saying January, thinking, well, that's a long time. You know, I think the realism about it is like if you read history, and history does repeat itself, is that this may go around for 3 years, 3 to 5, maybe even longer. Who knows? But 3 to 5 seems about average from the history of the world pandemics. The difference is that we have probably the whole world working on a vaccine. I don't know if you can really rush that. So I don't know. Maybe, but I'm not even going to be able to travel if the COVID thing's still around. I'm not going to be able to be a pro wrestling missionary and traveling around. Um, but it is something to look forward to and look to. So, but just doing the primetime live, and doing the online classes, to just really just try to help keep the dream alive, trying to do something. And I find the online classes have been tremendous. You know, I've never have the time. Not that I don't have the time, but if there's a ring in the dojo, chances are everybody needs ring work. You know, and so you might talk for an hour and a half, and then say, "Hey, the last 30 minutes, let's get in the ring." Here, we have the opportunity in the online class to sit down and at your desk or at your comfortable, position at home and learn about professional wrestling. And I talked to my wife Sylvia, and I said, "Hey, you know, I don't understand why this class has never been implemented in this structure before, right? You know, we talk to you in class, we talk to you if you stay after class, and you get a lot of then you get a lot of feedback, you get a lot of knowledge. If you come early, then you get a lot of feedback and a lot of knowledge. But if you just, some people have shit to do. You know, people have to get off of work, show up, the class ends maybe at 8. Hey, I got to get home. I got a kid. I got a wife. I got my mom. I got to take care of whatever. People got stuff to do, so they don't have the luxury sometimes to stay an hour after class with Coach Chaos or anything like that. So I find that the online course really, we set everything aside and we say, this is what we need to do. This is teaching everything from breaking down storytelling, match breakdown, going into like what we're going into right now is promos, promos from the heart, character development, personality. So we're working on all that right now, and we're really taking a deep dive into it. And it's also given me the opportunity because I've had to write a curriculum. I've been a coach. I've trained people in professional wrestling, but I've never really stopped and talked to people for 2 hours straight on end. The class itself gives, I think it's about 40 hours of lectures, and I've never done that. So I've had to write a curriculum, and I'm writing this curriculum. I'm about 40 pages into it. I'm like, hey, talk to my wife. I said, hey, this would probably be a good book, to put out there. So I'm looking to, I guess, write a book. I never thought I'd try to be an author, but I'm gonna try. I guess COVID has really opened my eyes to obviously other opportunities right now. Really taking an opportunity with doing the match agenting. Um, and the online classes. We've been really working on our merch store. We got a lot of merch out there. We got a lot of merch that I have in stock here in the office. That's like t-shirts for like $12, $11, even some t-shirts for $9. Masks for $5. So it's a huge discount. There's no coupon code. You can check it out at santinobros.net. Even the next online class that we got coming up, starting Monday, January 25th. That one's usually $500. That one right now is $100 off until next Monday, Cyber Monday. So if you're thinking about jumping on it, you're thinking about doing it, right now would probably be the best time to get the biggest discount and get the most bang for your buck. And I think that would be under $25 per class at $400. I mean, you can't beat that to get all the knowledge that we're throwing out at you. And not only knowledge, I'm throwing all them the notes in the book, which would eventually be my book. So they're getting all that. Definitely take advantage if you need some direction in your wrestling career. And the truth be told, right now, 2020, even worse than when I started back in 1994. Right now is the hardest time to probably break into the professional wrestling business. No ifs, ands, or buts. We can say maybe it's a lot easier here, there. Maybe it's easier for other wrestlers that already know how to do it. But if you're trying to break in right now, it probably is a little bit harder. Probably the hardest it's been in the last who knows when. Since I've been in this business for 26 years, it probably was harder in the 80s, to be honest with you, because I always say if I didn't come into the back door the way I did, I wouldn't have been into this wrestling business. So it's extremely tough. But if you bleed the dream and you have the passion and this is what you want to do, right? We don't want to work somewhere that we hate for 50, 75 years and call this a life just because we paid our bills. We got to do what we love inside, deep down inside, what moves our soul, what touches our heart. So if you want to do professional wrestling, this is the best way. And even we're doing the online classes, we're hoping that we're going to be able to open up, times, hopefully. I'd like to say April. I don't think so. I'm really looking at maybe summer, but even who knows? Really comes down to what the county is going to allow us to do. Without getting my business license revoked. So just getting there. But I am giving a list of people that are out of Los Angeles County that are training. My colleagues, my friends, even my competitors. And just saying, hey, these are students that want to train. And they're looking for a place to physically train. So it's very hard, not impossible. Nothing's impossible until it's done, right? Everything is probably impossible until it's actually accomplished, until it's actually done. So and that's how I always think. People asking, Nadine asking, do you guys have any home workouts to get ready for pro wrestling? And can you give me some advice? Because when I'm working out, I feel dizzy and a little nausea. Any tips? Well, I definitely, if you're feeling dizzy and nauseated, I definitely would consult with your physician. just to make sure that there's nothing else going on. I mean, when you start doing rolls, and if you've never worked out before in your life, you probably are going to feel that, and you probably got to maybe take it down a step, slow it down a little bit, take baby steps in order to get there. But yeah, there's a plethora of wrestling workouts that I have. You can even check them out on this YouTube channel. Along with I actually, I'm at access to a ring at Primetime Live, and I've been thinking about. I mean, I got all you fans asking about pro wrestling moves and stuff like that. And so I've been thinking about doing those moves and doing a lot of stuff. And even those workouts that we're talking about, because there's workouts like grape squishers, Berkside shuffles, pro wrestling get ups that we do that you can do by yourself and that will really help you out, not only with your heart and your lungs, but also with your footwork, timing, and even pacing. It would really help you out with that. Hopefully I'll get a chance to film today. If not, hopefully next week. And then I will start posting them on because I know that this channel is hungry for some wrestling, for some wrestling education and training. And hopefully we can throw it on there. Hopefully we can throw it on there soon and then get them filmed soon. So, but thank you for asking that question. Um, Someone said, I really like the workout, but I can't do it. You got to start small. You got to start small. There's a lot of trainees that come into the wrestling business, or even just come into wrestling school, and they can't even do a roll, what would be considered in real life world a somersault. They can't do a roll, and they just can't do it. They actually go down to the floor and they stop themselves, and they push down and stop themselves. So I think that you have to take baby steps, and there's ways that we actually train the students to start taking the baby steps. Start rolling up. Maybe start doing the half roll. So, if there's ever a workout that you can't do, really tone it down a notch. Take it a step back, because you're probably going to end up hurting yourself if you're trying to do something that you can't do. And you got to get better coaching on training, or just even you can really just break it down yourself, right? And just start seeing, hey, I got videos on here of rolls or workouts. If you can't do them, actually view the video, and then just try to copy what you see, and that'll probably help you out in order to get it better. Let's see here. Logan Starr asks, "Who's my favorite wrestler?" I mean, I guess I always say, "Who's my favorite wrestler today?" Today, I like Cody Rhodes. I think he's a total package. He's got great gear. He's got good body. He's got the good look. He's got incredible promos. And I enjoy his matches the best. I really liked it when he was defending his championship every week, and that to me was the featured match. That to me was the main event. Should have been the main event, even over the main event title. And I think that's so important. Because I think he made that his matches and his title really important. So I thought that's probably my favorite wrestler today. My favorite wrestler of all time. Obviously, I love Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, and then I can't deny my main man Sabu. I love Sabu as a wrestler, just has a diehard attitude, not afraid to do anything. Has really kind of implemented the style of extreme wrestling into the business, at least in my eyes, and in the United States. So I would say that right now, if I had to pick my best favorite wrestler of today, is going to be Cody Rhodes, and my favorite wrestler of the past. I'm gonna have to probably say Macho Man. That's gonna be my top one of the past. So, thank you for asking that question there. Um, Hi, sir. I just ran so much on my ropes. My back hurts and I love it. Oh, I do. I do miss running the ropes, man. There's nothing like running the ropes and actually feeling, sometimes even getting that bruise from coming back from running the ropes. I think that's so much fun. So I'm glad that you actually have the access to a ring to be able to do that. Someone's asking, UN, I'm from Malaysia and I want to join pro wrestling. Let me ask you, is there any pro wrestling in Malaysia? That's probably the first step. If you don't have any pro wrestling, I would say judo or jujitsu would definitely help you. Obviously, it is completely different. But at least in judo, they do help you and teach you how to absorb the falls and absorb the blows. And it's probably might be the closest if you have that. But obviously, pro wrestling, we have a load of videos on this channel on breaking down moves. So if you have a partner and you're not afraid, I wouldn't try it at home, but you're not afraid. I would watch some of the standing hold to hold, do none of the bumps right now, and just do the headlock. Don't squeeze it. And we explain that in all in the video. So um, definitely would definitely do that. But you got to do what you got to do to keep the dream alive. I didn't have a trainer, and if I wanted to learn a power bomb or a German suplex, I had to just grab a dude or not a dude, grab my uncle and figure it out. Usually, he'd figure it out on me because I'd be smaller than him. So, um, let's see here. Well, we got a lot of questions going on here. Let me take a look here. I did lose my spot where I was. Okay, there you're from Malaysia. Um, my wife just walked in. She just finished Thanksgiving shopping. Yeah, we're live on YouTube this morning.
Morning, everybody. Happy healthy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy healthy Thanksgiving from Jezebel Romo. How strong do you have to be in order to do the gorilla press? Well, I mean, obviously in professional wrestling, your opponent's going to help you and press up on your shoulders. They're going to make their body as flat and stiff as a board, and that'll definitely help them out. But you have to be strong. You have to be able to at least probably lift 150 pounds over your head, depending on how heavy the person is. Obviously, if the person is bigger than you, you don't want to. You're not going to want to gorilla press them, especially if you're going to show that you're struggling. So I mean, you definitely want to practice those clean and presses and be able to. And that's a lot of weight. I mean, you're taking the 45-pound bar, putting 245 pounds, and that's only 135. So then you got to add another 15 pounds to get to that 150. And that's probably a bare minimum. You're probably still going to struggle, and you can only lift little guys. So you really gotta. If you can lift that bar, then you start thinking about doing the clean and press. But if you're not lifting the weights, you're not lifting the bar, then I wouldn't think about that right now. I'd actually put in the work and put the meat on the bone. Someone asked, "Can you take Taekwondo before doing pro wrestling?" Yeah, obviously. You could do MMA. It's really sometimes it helps a lot to take some sports, maybe even team sports or something disciplined, and to really help you come into professional wrestling. It's better to do something than nothing, and maybe coming straight off the couch because it is a shell shocker. Because people talk, oh, wrestling's fake or this, that, and the other. It's not fake. Because you're going out there and you're gonna throw up a lung after doing 300 squats, and then they make you run. So yeah, it's better to do something than nothing than coming straight off the couch. 100%. Let's see. People are practicing the gorilla press. Hey, Santino Brothers Wrestling, have you ever did Jeff Hardy Twist of Fate? Twist of Fate. I think back in my day, and I think it's back in Jeff Hardy's day, but he gave it his own name. We used to call it the tumbleweed. I think you stand on the top rope like as if you're gonna do a moonsault, and you jump and you just do a front flip, right? You turn and do a front flip. And yeah, I mean, I used to do it. My target and my aim was never on. I was always off. I'd always like overshoot my wrestler because I didn't want to land on them directly or hurt them. But yeah, we used to call it the tumbleweed. We used to call it the tumbleweed back in the day. But yeah, it's taken over. It's now known as the Twist of Fate. Logan Starr says, I've never done martial arts before. I directly started with pro wrestling. That was me. I mean, I think I played football for 2 or 3 seasons. But yeah, there are people that will come straight and do pro wrestling. I think Brody King played basketball in high school. I think he played basketball, and then he was in his band, and then came straight to pro wrestling. So, but he did have that little bit of athletic background that will help him out. So that's good, Logan, that you're still with it. Let's see here. Good morning, Michael Fry. How are you? Some Brendan Jesse wrestle me. I'm retired, brother. Yeah, I'm retired. I don't wrestle no more. Maybe Voodoo Chaos will wrestle. But he's a cheater, man. He's a bad motherfucker. So yeah, he made Brody King and Jake Atlas and Heather Monroe and Eli Everfly and Douglas James, and Ray Rosas and Che Cabrera and Rico Dynamite. Yeah, I mean, fuck, you want to wrestle that guy? Whoo, Chaos will whip some ass. I mean, really, you got to be a bad motherfucker. You really do. You got to have. I always tell the students, say, hey, you're really nice, and I like that you're really nice, and that's cool that you're really nice. But you know what? You need a little motherfucker in you. Yeah, you can't be so fucking happy-go-lucky and agreeing with everybody. If we all agree, the fuck is this world, right? You know what I mean? You gotta go against the grain sometimes. You gotta have that little motherfucker in you, you know? So, and that's what Chaos has, yeah, especially 22-year-old Chaos. I whooped your fucking ass. Come in the ring with me. Yeah, I didn't give a fuck who you were. Yeah, that's why I don't have friends in this business. I got students. I got my friends are my students. You know, I got friends because I used to be an asshole at 22 years old. But yeah, good night to username 666 Devil's Device. Good morning. How are you? Are there any good tips you can get to cut a promo? Man, we're just I have plenty of tips. I got a lot of great tips. You know what is a great tip on cutting a promo? Here, just really simple, really quick, right? I want you to emote your emotion with your eyes first and have it pour down your face, you know. And so I want you to be able to drive an angry, a happy, an indifferent, on the verge of a nervous breakdown emotion. All these different emotions, sad emotion. I want you to be able to take all these emotions. Think about something that makes you feel sad, happy, and different, whatever it is. Think about it and draw it out through your eyes because we believe you in your promo. The believability in your promo comes from your eyes first, right? And speak from the heart. Start speaking from the heart before you're worried about a character. You know, I think that's so important. Speak from the heart. Learn to who you are before you can try to make up a character. You know, if you know who you are, the character that you make up will be you. It will be a part of you as opposed to just this character that I'm playing, you know, and that's what cosplay wrestling looks like sometimes. So really speak from the heart, know who you are, and be able to cut different promos and different emotions and practice that and be able to hit your time. Hit it at 60 seconds. No more, no more, no less. Um, all right, Alberto. Let's see. I don't see myself doing anything else in life. Then do what you got to do to keep the dream alive. You know, hopefully. I mean, it seems like everything right now because of COVID numbers and everything is closing down. I think some of the wrestling schools are off the radar. Like they're not like a gym, like Planet Fitness or anything like that. So they probably still be operating during this. Keep the dream alive. You know, if you're looking at taking that calculated risk, I would definitely say wear a mask, get your hand sanitizer, probably even get your own bottle of Clear Gear spray. It kills 99.8% of all bacteria and viruses, and leave that in your bag. And just do what you got to do, you know, because we got to take the calculated risk, you know, in order to do what we love and to keep the dream alive. Um, so, but yeah, if there's nothing else that you want to do in life, that's what I would suggest. Nadine asked, I'm so curious about this. So here's the question: why do most pro wrestling schools ask you to be 18 plus to do pro wrestling? I mean, can't you do it at a young age? Just asking. Yes, absolutely. I was 14 years old when I started. Chaos now runs a school and says you got to be 18. Um, that's I think I said in the beginning of this podcast, which was you need some like life experience, you know. You need life experience, and I think sometimes you love wrestling at a certain age and you think you love it, and I always tell them, wait till you're 18, go to school, you know. You don't want to just say I'm going to be a pro wrestler and be at WrestleMania, you know. Because I think we think like when people say go to school, they're stopping us from doing what we want to do in our life. Like, listen, you can go to college, you can get a degree, and pro wrestling will still be there. Even if you started during college, even if you started after college at 24 years old, you're not too old. That's a perfect time to start training to be a professional wrestler, and you have life experience, you know. So that's why I think your body is not developed enough when you're younger than 18, you know, when you're a kid. That's what we believe here at Santino Brothers. And I think that it cheated me out of a lot of stuff not going to prom, not. I don't want to say get in trouble, not getting in trouble, just being a kid. I was like this pro wrestling guy at 14. I think it stole that from me a little bit. So that's why we always say 18. That's us. If you want to be a professional wrestler and you're younger than 18, then we definitely would recommend watch a lot of different wrestling, become a student of the game, get your education, whether it be high school and or college, um, study promos, learn to cut promos, learn to speak from your heart, learn the gift of gab. There's so much that you can do before you actually just want to actually do the physical portion of it. So, but that's why we take on students 18 years and older. So no name, no name. Ask what is no name? See, I keep losing my spot. No name asks. You probably get this a lot. But your manager's class still available? I know I'm not wrestling material, but I'm still interested in becoming a manager. So we don't have the advocates class as of right now. There's a lot that we need to do, like in person. Obviously, we can do promos and stuff like that. We don't have an online managers class. The school's closed down. We were in the middle, not even in the middle, at the beginning, the first third of our advocates class, and then when we shut down in March. So we're still looking to get these guys once we get started back up to get them back and going. Although it was a lot more optimistic 9 months ago than it is now, but we'll see how it goes. But if you want to be a manager, same thing. Learn to speak from the heart. Learn to cut a promo. Look right into the camera lens. Have the believability come through your eyes. Be able to put over your wrestler and talk them up because you were going to be the world's greatest hype man. As a professional wrestling manager. But you could definitely work on stuff like that. What was the face? That was the old Chaos face on the thumbnail. I used to do that pose. That's stuff that I used to do to be a professional wrestler. I don't think the youngsters do today. They don't practice their facial expressions and see what they want to put on in a picture. What's going to capture? What are bookers and promoters going to want to see, or even publishers want to see, and put it in a magazine, put on the cover of a magazine or a DVD. That's how I used to think. I see a lot of people taking wrestling pictures like this. Who do you want to book? Or this? That's me. That's me, man. Hey. Maybe it's working for you. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah. And so is pro wrestling, man. Pro wrestling is kind of creepy. Yeah, we're fighting in our underwear for a belt, using chairs, and then the fucking ref takes his shirt off to unveil the NWO shirt. He's a fucking double crosser. It's crazy. The wild world of professional wrestling is what I love and why I love it. Um, all right, greetings from Miami. Good seeing you. Greetings right here from Bell Gardens, California. People ask, where is Bell Gardens, California? It's East Los Angeles. We're right here in East Los Angeles. So, also, Logan Star asks, also, why the sleeper hold is legal, but other chokes are not. That is a great question. I think it's legal now. I think because of MMA and the popularity of MMA, the rear naked choke has become legal. I think I've seen Samoa Joe win matches with the rear naked choke. So yeah. Hey, it is a choke. I think maybe they're calling it a sleeper hold. I think they called it something else, but it's a choke. Either way you look at it. But yeah, it's pro wrestling. Why do we run the ropes though? Too. I think you got to suspend your disbelief in what's going on. So Alberto asks, can a technical wrestler get over someone that's more of a high flyer? Obviously, of course, right? In professional wrestling, it's how creative you can and want to be as a pro wrestler. So it's really just on how you build your match. Someone said, wait, didn't know you retired. I don't actively take bookings. The bookings that I will take are ones that my students will ask me, say, hey, I gotta wrestle you, and I'm like, come on, man, you don't want to wrestle me. I can't hang with you young kids today, and they talk me into it, and I wrestle. So those are the times that I do wrestle. I probably wrestle my students. I don't know. Same thing. We talked about Chaos being a pro wrestling missionary. But also, I wouldn't mind, putting on the Mono Roja mask and wrestling, or maybe bringing back Voodoo Chaos, or something like that. I definitely wouldn't mind doing that. So, there's a lot of new thoughts going through my head. The longer that we're out of wrestling school, and they keep telling us that I can't open up, so stuff starts thinking, because I need that wrestling. I need that true blood in my veins. I need that wrestling in my soul. I need it to pump through my body. So but yeah, so I say I'm retired. Um, I don't think any but I think I say it more as a joke, because I don't think pro wrestlers actually retire. Undertaker retired, but maybe I thought he retired before. I really did. I thought he had already retired. But I guess I'm mistaken. So hopefully not hopefully. I mean, if the man wants to come back, let the man come back, right? Of course, right? So, um, but yeah. So let's see here. Wow, we got questions coming in. Let's see here. Pour out your soul, right? Yeah, yeah. Actually, of course, that's exactly what you want to do. Are there any of the wrestling schools near or around the Ohio area? Near or around? I'm absolutely sure. And my go-to person to find out about that would probably be former student Thunder Kitty. She is out from the Midwest area. She would know. I'm pretty sure there's students around here in Los Angeles that know. But I'll get an answer for you. Go ahead and ask on our community page, and I'll make sure to find the answer for you. I know Truth Martini might be in Detroit. I don't know if he's still operating. You know who's in Ohio is Cody Hawk. Cody Hawk. Look up Cody Hawk. I don't know how far in Ohio. You're talking California. You mean Northern California. I'm in San Diego. I mean, that's like a good 10 hours. So I don't know, but I know Cody Hawk is in Ohio, so you definitely want to look him up. Definitely a reputable trainer there. So I'm 28. Is that a good age? Yeah, that's a good age to. You want to get started. You don't want to wait any longer. The truth be told, you know, it's impossible until it's done, right? It's impossible to get signed at 40 years old until it's done, or 45 years old until it's done. So, yeah, 28 is a good age to start. It's not late at all. So, yes, I have another question. So since I'm from the Philippines, I don't speak English that good. So any tips doing some promo? I mean, what if you forgot some word? Well, first of all, you don't ever you never want to memorize your promos. You want to speak your promos from the heart. But I would cut promos in your native language. Learn to be able to cut the promos in your native language, and then at the same time still learn to speak English, because you want to go to WWE, and you want to be able to cut promos at WrestleMania, so that's why you want to learn to speak English, among other reasons. So but yeah, I would definitely learn the gift of gab with your native language first. I think that would probably be the easiest for you to start, and then you can definitely translate it to the English, which would be a lot easier for you. Um, E-feds are good for learning promos. Yeah, I mean, I even think sometimes when I used to play that WrestleMania 2000 or those games on N64, and they used to take you through. You create a wrestler, and they're like, yeah, well, they make you pick taunts, and they make you pick low moves, and then high moves, and then finishing moves. You need to think about that as you're building your personal wrestler, your real wrestler, because these video games are really good. And then also the booking aspect of it gives you like a real good rundown about booking. So I've never played the E-Feds, but I'm sure it is exactly what you're saying. I'm from Lancon, and there is no wrestling in our country. I did American wrestling when I was in Australia, but that wasn't my passion, so I stopped. Give me some advice. Well, I mean, if there's no wrestling in your country, and Chaos, the pro wrestling missionary, is not able to go out there and do his thing right now, I think it's probably very important to you got to go to where the wrestling is right now. So if you're able to go back to Australia, I don't know what part of Australia you were in, but there's Damian Slater. I know Damian Slater, and he's training students, and he's a great teacher, great trainer, great coach. And he'd be great to go to. But yeah, you have to go to where the wrestling's at. You got to, I always tell a lot of the wrestlers, even when you're from here, Southern California, you got to get out of SoCal. You got to go out and try to become that wrestler, good, bad, or ugly, whether you fail or succeed, you got to go out there and try, right? At least you tried. But if you don't try, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to fail. Give yourself the opportunity to fail. Try to figure out, uproot your life and move to Australia and figure it out. And it's going to cut your teeth. Is it going to be easy? Hell no, it's not going to be easy. But nothing worthwhile is. So that's what I would suggest for you. Um, how to overcome fear of the top rope? Well, start at the first rope and the second rope. That's how I would overcome the fear of the top rope. Really simple. I don't think I need to really get more into that. But if you're afraid of heights, you're always going to be afraid of heights. I know people that are afraid of heights that do ladder matches, jump off and stuff. But I would start small. If you want to do a splash off the top rope, start it from the corner, standing on the floor, and jump as in a McDonald's arch. That's how I tell everyone. Don't just jump straight up. Don't just jump straight out. Jump like a McDonald's arch. And that's how you want to hit your splash. And then go to the first rope and do it. Then go to the second rope and do it. Then go to the top rope and stand there and don't do it. Maybe you have a crash pad. That'll definitely help you out and do it. But it's going to come a point that you actually just have to dive off the top rope and get it done. But yeah, I would definitely take baby steps to overcome the fear of the top rope. Let's see here. Good morning, Bill Chu. Good morning, my friend. Bill Chu, I hope you're doing well. Greetings from Australia, Tom. Good seeing you. Greetings from East Los Angeles, California. And if everybody here, you don't know what's East Los Angeles and you think it's glitz and glamour like Hollywood, it's not. Look up a movie called Bound by Honor. Blood in, blood out. It's actually by Buena Vista Disney. But yeah, that's not what it's like. They do take you through East LA. But yeah, there are taco shops on every corner out here in Bell Gardens, which I love. When I traveled the East Coast and even traveled through Europe, couldn't find a taco to save my life, man. I missed it so much. I did find a taco in Denmark, if you want to call it that. I don't complain because it was better than nothing. I'll tell you that. But yeah, greetings from East LA to Australia. Just curious, do y'all teach stuff like release toss moves? Like you put someone in a back suplex and toss them for a free fall? Yeah, I mean, like a German suplex. You could German suplex and bridge, or you can German suplex release all impact, no bridge. That's what Joey Styles used to say to Taz back in the day. But yeah, it really becomes a preference of your moves. My Uncle Supreme used to do a lot of moves where he would just toss you, fall away, slam. He wouldn't fall away. You would fall away and toss you. But yeah, it really becomes down to your preference on what you want. So Devil's Device. So if I wanted to be more of a technical wrestler, who would you recommend I study? I've been watching Chris Benoit matches, but are there any more? One of my favorite Chris Benoit matches is WrestleMania 17. Is it I think it's WrestleMania 17. Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. And they do an incredible job of work shoot in the beginning, where you can tell it's definitely not choreographed. They're not fighting each other, but they're not 1, 2, 3 lock up. They're not arm wringer, your arm wringer, mine. It looks like a competition, and they do an incredible job in that. Also, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle is a great one to watch. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. Technical wrestlers. Why don't you check out Billy Robinson? Different style of technical wrestling, but a great technical wrestler. I'd watch Billy Robinson. Wrestlers of today, Zack Sabre Jr. is great. I haven't seen much of him lately, but you can find a lot of good stuff of him. Daniel Bryan, obviously, a great technical wrestler. I don't know how much he's technical wrestling on WWE, but definitely when he was on the Indies, he was the master. Still is. But yeah, I definitely would watch some of those matches and study them for that. So, Mikey Sparkles asks, I'm a bigger guy. What other moves could I put in my moves that to kind of try the match longer? Well, I always say you don't need to put moves in In order to make the match longer, right? You put moments in. You can maybe I'm working the neck. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to do a neck breaker and a DDT and a camel clutch. How about I just beat up the neck and I work the crowd and I try to gain heat from my audience and I try to get maybe build hope spots for my face that I'm working with. So yeah, you never want to just go out there and do an exhibition of moves. Rather, you want to tell a story. When we do our online class, we're breaking down matches with only 2 moves each, and that's it. So that's 4 months in the total in the entire match. So yeah, you got to really get your Mikey Sparkles. You got to get your psychology and match breakdown down, and that'll really help you out on that. Yeah, Regal's another great one. Regal versus Cesaro, I thought was a great match. We just watched that from NXT. So I thought that is a great one. WWE Child's Channel, YouTuber Kids, what's going on? Hi, you're a big fan. Thank you for showing up this morning and watching. Um, I'm doing great. I'm getting ready to go to work to Primetime Live. We're going to do some pay-per-view wrestling today. Let me see. Ion TV asked, where can I train to get in the business to be a ringside commentary? Well, you definitely want to seek out a wrestling school. Look for a wrestling school in your area. Hopefully, it's not closed down due to COVID. If you do go, I definitely would get clear gear and wear a mask to definitely help you out. So. But yeah, definitely find a wrestling school that'll really help you, and then even watch wrestling commentators and break it down. And you can even commentate your own matches to practice at home, so that way you have an idea of what you're doing. If I do American wrestling, as I just searched and found out there is in our country in Sri Lanka, is that going to be the same qualifications to get higher wrestling corporation like in AEW or WWE? Yes, yeah. If you got a pro wrestling company or school in your country, yeah, definitely start there in order to open your eyes because you're going to find people who know more people to get you out there. But yeah, I definitely would go ahead and do that. I'm a bigger wrestler, but my gimmick is more flamboyant. Whatever moves could I add to do my moves that I feel like my moves that are very limited right now? You know who I would watch? WrestleMania 3, but not just this match, but I would watch it's Roddy Piper versus Adrian Adonis. Big guy, very flamboyant, but very mean. And I would definitely watch some Adrian Adonis, maybe even Adrian Street. And I think that would probably find out right through your right up your alley to really help you out on that, man. Adrian Adonis for a big dude moves like butter. Watch that match, WrestleMania 3, Roddy Piper. They got like 3 minutes because we got to cut time for Mach and Steamboat and obviously the Giant and Hogan. So I think they give them like 3 to 5 minutes to do this whole match, and they even got to cut hair at the end, but they get it done, and it's an incredible match, one of my favorites, really. So I would definitely look at that. Let's see here. Good morning, Jezebel. Jezebel's sitting down to work at Lucha Girls right now this morning.
Get her done.
Lucha Girls just put up their 50% off at luchagirls.com on all of her videos. So check it out, luchagirls.com. If you didn't know, go to her website and join her mailing list, and you'll get the mailing list every time there is a sale going on. So let's see here. With these questions just keep coming in. I thought I was gonna do like 20 minutes by myself, to be honest with everybody. Let's see here. Good morning, Joey, from the Real Boulder. Good morning, Joey. Hope all is well. Quick question. Would it be possible to wrestle in modified suit pants? Modified to where they don't rip. I've had a character in mind for yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, yeah. Modify them in the crotch or whatever. Make sure maybe they look like suit pants and put the crease in them. But maybe they're spandex. Yeah, absolutely. My predecessors would be like, Joey, what the fuck you giving that advice? Tell them to get wrestling gear. Mongo would yell at me right now. Tell them to get wrestling boots and wrestling gear.
Human Tornado wrestled in a suit.
Oh yeah, Human Tornado wrestled in a suit. It wasn't as tight. Like if he wore it the way people wear suits today, that shit would have ripped.
Yeah. Well, we did modify the crotch area and put spandex there because he did the splits. So as long as you modify it and don't let your jingle jangles hang out, you're good.
There you go. Don't let your jingles jangle, and you'll be.
I'm trying to be nice.
All right, but yeah, I definitely will probably put some spandex. Baron Corbin has. I forget what we were talking about, Tom John, but go ahead and remind me. Jacob Scott, how does one go about creating a creative and fresh character? Recent examples that come to mind would be like The Fiend, Broken Man Hardy, and every time Chris Jericho has reinvented himself. Creativity, my friend. You know, it also helps out a lot. Life fucking experiences. Life experience. I find when people come in with more life experience, um, they are able to cut promos a lot easier than a lot of other people. So people with life experiences help out a lot. Also, that's what we're just getting in it with in our online class with Coach Bob. He's teaching about character and personality, and probably taking our online class that starts January 25th would definitely help you out. There's definitely pointers on here on our YouTube channel. Search them out. I think I even have a playlist for them to help you on being creative. But really, I think bottom line, like if you want to be that creative, life experiences really help you out. Thinking outside of the box. Stop watching what everybody is watching. Go against the grain. Watch something else. If everybody's watching WrestleMania 2000, then you better be watching 1970s wrestling. You know what I mean? That's where you're going to find better creative ideas that you can take and twist them and turn them and make them your own and be creative. You know, so that would be my suggestion of that. I can say I'm a student of the game, but I'm not familiar with the 70s, 80s. What matches or wrestlers can I watch to learn promos? 70s and 80s, Dusty Rhodes and superstar Billy Graham. I mean, what about Bruno, Samar fucking Tino, Macho Man Randy Savage of the 80s, Steamboat of the 80s, Ric Flair of the 80s. I mean, the 80s promos, man, you start talking talk, you know. Yeah, start with Dusty Rhodes. Start with Dusty Rhodes and superstar Billy Graham, and you can't go wrong. Start with their feud. You can't go wrong. You'll go down a rabbit hole that you'll probably never come out of, and you'll find some great wrestling about that. So let's see here. All right, we're coming to our end. I got 8 minutes left. I can keep answering your questions. What would you think of spinning into a spear for a finisher, like a front flip? I think it's great. I used to sing Rashi Brown used to do that among other wrestlers, but Rashi Brown I think may have been the first wrestler that I've seen do it, probably about 15 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. Not so long. But yeah, absolutely. I think I think that would be a great move to do. I always liked it. I used to do it. I used to thought it was really cool. So um, let's see. Another someone saying like a torpedo. Oh, spinning like that. The closest I could think of is probably Misawa used to give that clothesline from Japan and then spin like that. I think Devon Dudley also did the same thing. Maybe that was a back elbow though. Maybe that was a back elbow. So that would be interesting if it could be pulled off. Right? It's impossible until it's actually fucking done. Sosato Pro made us a "Keep the Dream Alive" logo. "Keep the Dream Alive" is the words that Dynamite D said before he passed away, which kind of were the words that led us to keep the wrestling school going. But Sosato Pro asks, "Good morning, Joey. Just curious if you guys will be in the same spot when the school reopens, or if you plan on relocating. Wanted to ask since in the past stream you discussed wanting a studio setup. You know, well, in a perfect world, we'd be at the same place. In a perfect world, we'll be at a different place. You know, so I want to say that on both ends. Right, this one's too small. I'd like something bigger. I think we're used to it. 12 years of being here, but I think we're going to be at a different place. 100%. We're looking to, utilize this time to grow, even though it's been hard to grow right now. So we still want to bring a positive out of it. But thank you for that one. Can you wear anything when you're in a pro wrestling training except the shoes? Uh, no, no. Still, like if like some guys will like to come in there and wear just like trunks. that go thong up their ass, and she'll say, "Hey, you put your fucking pants on." Or if girls do the same thing and they're showing too much stuff, she'll say, "Put some fucking clothes on," because it's distracting. Or the baggy clothes get caught in foot and feet and stuff like that. So we, wear form fitted, but you don't want to show your stuff. But yeah, I know that's probably not what you're asking. You're gonna wrestle in jeans? Hell no, man. Hell no. If you're in there with Aaron Aguilera, probably beat your fucking ass. This fucking guy's got no respect for professional wrestling. Comes to wrestling training in his fucking jeans. Yeah. So no, I mean you want to wear shorts and a t-shirt, and a mask today. So um, well, the school right now it's located as just the office right now in Bell Gardens, California. We don't have the physical school open right now. So any tips on a better sounding chop? Yeah, hit them harder. I mean, hit them harder, right?
Hold back.
Don't hold back. Like whew, straight on, right? See too many people do it. Chopping with their fingers, chop their whole fucking hand. So that'll probably help you for a harder, louder chop. Let's see. I'm trying to get to the end of the questions. They keep coming. Do you have any tips for keeping a straight face? I want to do a serious character and believe everything I am saying, but I can't help but smile. Well, then go with your smile. It's like what I told Sean Black one day. I said, Sean, like you're so happy-go-lucky guy. I said, like you want to be Sean Black, this serious militant wrestler, but that's not you, man. Why don't you just let your personality out? This motherfucker, like 5 years later, after Big E's been doing the fucking character, laughy, go lucky guy, he's like, I want to be a laugh character. And I looked at him and I said, I told you this shit 5 years ago. If you're smiling too much, I'd probably go with it. Yeah, because one, you can act like a serious person, but if that's not coming from the heart and that's not really who you are, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, crazy serious motherfucker, then it's probably gonna come off as ingenuine and fake. And you don't want people to look at you like that in professional wrestling. You want people to look at you as real. Um, so, so I've been researching different wrestling schools. How much do you charge, Joey? 300 down, 300 per month for 12 months. I think it comes out to about $3,500 for the entire year. 3,000 if you pay it all up front, so you save $500, which is a steal because I think I think 20 plus years ago, Mongo paid $3,000. So yeah, I'm giving you 20-year ago prices. I don't know, maybe I think maybe everybody is. But yeah, it is a steal. Let's see here. And let's say you're in pro wrestling and you don't have a ring name. Any idea how you could think of a better one? Um, yeah, I mean, you just have to be creative. If you don't have a ring name and you're wrestling, right? Well, you're going backward. You're doing it the wrong way. You should have a ring name first. I think people are so excited to get on the show and they don't even have fucking gear. And I say, why would you do your forever debut with no fucking gear? So if you don't have a ring name, then you gotta wait. Figure one out. Be creative about one. Write down 5 different names. 5 different names that you love. Not one that you love and 4 that are okay. 5 that you love, and come up with it. Think of characters from movies, books, television shows, magazines. I wouldn't try to steal your name from wrestling as much, just because you're gonna seem like a ripoff. Why do some talented wrestlers don't make it to the mainstream? I mean, that's a loaded question. Underachievers, not knowing the right people. They got heat for some reason or another. Yeah, I mean, there's a many different reasons. If you ask Kale, why Kale? Why didn't you make it the big time? I think I would never put the blame on anybody. I put myself and say I underachieved. I wasn't a go getter and go out there and get it and make it happen. I didn't give myself a chance to fail. That's why I preach to my students. Give yourself a chance to fail. Go out there and let them tell you you're terrible and you suck and you need work on all this shit. Well, at least you get to work on it. You gave yourself a chance to fail, but if you don't give your chance to fail, then you'll never have an opportunity to get the part. Right? I think that's me. So there's a lot of reasons why a lot of talented wrestlers don't make it. Hey, good morning. Thank you for the great interview last week. I'll have it pushed out soon. Red Dog, yeah, I think that's a 3 count podcast. Yeah, I look forward to that. Alberto, moving to Orlando next year, but hopefully after COVID is done, I can go learn from you and Kelly. You made my day, man. Thank you for this. I appreciate it, man. Hey, keep the dream alive. I think Orlando would probably be a great place for you to go. Obviously, you got in Florida, at least, you got AEW and NXT, and among a lot of other wrestling companies that are out there. And it's a lot of wrestling schools out there. My friend Pablo Marquez is out there training people, so go to him. And there's a lot of different wrestling schools that you can choose from. But yeah, I think that would be a great place to go. So, all right, just we're coming down to the end. Thanks for your time today, Joey. Really enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys joining me. Like I said, I thought I was gonna be by myself, just talking, just trying to put some content up for my channel. Um, just want to know if there's any scholarships or other stuff. Learning American wrestling. We do have the Dynamite D scholarship. Obviously, right now without a school, we are not offering it. But once we get back up and running, I don't see why we wouldn't. And we give out so many scholarships. I mean, we don't even talk about it anymore. We used to make a big this person got a scholarship. Now we just say, hey, let's do it. So, but yeah, we still have them. Yes, sir. 3 Count Podcast. Look forward to it, my friend. Oh yeah, Gangrel's wrestling school. Yeah, Gangrel is ace in the hole. Great guy, Gangrel. He used to train out here at the Knox Pro with Rikishi. But yeah, there we go. We hit an hour. I'm gonna try to do this more often. When I say more often, probably at least 2 to 3 times a week. Don't hold me to it though. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to speak on some wrestling tips and stuff like that. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe to our channel if you haven't. And we'll catch you on the next podcast. I think maybe I'll go live on Thursday, maybe Friday. I don't know. I don't want to put a schedule on it. You'll just see the notification that says Santino Brothers is live right now. And yeah, hopefully we'll get going. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. And we'll probably catch you later this week. So starting off, thank you guys. Hey, have a great day. And do something. That scares you every single day, right? Do one thing that scares you every day. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one.